Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are new, my name is Andrea and I film videos all about cruelty-free beauty products. So I hope you will subscribe and stick around for a little while. I love filming dupes videos. I try to work on them pretty regularly, but sometimes it's hard to find dupes. But I do love going through my collection and just discovering some really good, high quality, affordable alternatives to some of the more expensive products in my collection. You do not have to spend a ton of money to get really high quality products. So that's why I love filming these videos and just sharing some good alternatives with you guys. I don't have as many like blush, bronzer, highlight dupes as I normally do, so if you are interested in those, check out my previous videos. I'll link them in the description box below, but I do have some eye products, some face products, lip products, and even a few skincare dupes, which I'll save for the end of the video in case you're not into skincare. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up or let me know in the comments below, and let's jump into it. So I'm going to start with an eyeshadow palette dupe, and it's hard to find identical eyeshadow palette dupes unless it's pretty much like a blatant copy or a ripoff. So this one's actually just a very, very similar alternative. I would say about half of the shadows are dupes and half of the shadows are just very similar, but they're slightly different. But I still wanted to share it with you guys in today's video because the Urban Decay Born to Run palette is so popular right now. Everybody is talking about it, everybody is recommending it, and I do think it is a really high quality, beautiful palette. You get so many beautiful shadows in one palette, and there are mattes and metallics, cool tones, warm tones, and I really truly do love this palette. I think it is one of the best that I've tried in a long time. But if you guys do not want to spend $49 on an eyeshadow palette, the ColourPop Perception palette is a great alternative. This one retails for $23. Now you do get more shadows in the Born to Run palette because it is a little bit of a larger palette. So there are going to be eyeshadow looks that you can create with this palette that you can't necessarily get with the Perception palette. But in general, about 8 of the eyeshadows are identical dupes and 8 of the eyeshadows are very similar. So you're going to get a lot of the same looks between the two palettes. And honestly, I think the Perception palette is a little bit better when it comes to quality. They're both great options, but the matte shadows in here are so blendable and these ColourPop shadows are just so richly pigmented. It's the best ColourPop palette that I've ever tried. So if you guys want to save a little bit of money and you don't necessarily need all the shades in Born to Run, Perception is a great alternative. So I do love the Stila Glitter and Glow shadows. I'm actually wearing one today on my eyes. I'm wearing the shade Smoldering Satin all over the lid, and I think they are so beautiful, but I really struggle spending $24 on one of them. That being said, I just tried the PIXI Liquid Fairy Lights not too long ago, so I might be late to the game. Other people might have talked about these, but these are an identical dupe. They are just exactly the same as the Stila Glitter and Glow shadows. I will say that you actually get more product with the PIXI shadows than you do the Stila shadows. So not only are you spending less money, but you're also getting additional product, which is definitely a great reason to grab the PIXI shadows over the Stila shadows as well. I actually found 2 identical shade matches. So the PIXI Liquid Fairy Lights in the shade Rose Gold is an identical dupe for the Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Rose Gold Retro. You cannot tell the difference between the two at all. And then the PIXI Liquid Fairy Lights in the shade Bare Brilliance is an identical dupe to the Stila Smoldering Satin Glitter and Glow shadow. The only downside is that the PIXI shadows only come in maybe like 6 shades, whereas there are so many options for Stila. So if there is a shade that you want in Stila, I mean, I do think the $24 is worth it, but I know that that is a high price tag for a glitter shadow for a lot of us. So definitely check out the PIXI shadows if you've been looking for a good glitter option. So I do have a bronzer formula dupe. The Urban Decay Beach bronzers were really popular this summer when they re-released them. They have been a part of the Urban Decay line for a little while, but they just kind of did a re-promote with their summer collection. They do have 2 shades, and both of the shades are a little bit too dark for me, so it's not something that I've worn super regularly or really talked about on my channel, but it is a good matte bronzer. It blends really nicely. It holds its pigmentation really well. Well, the E.L.F. Primer Infused Bronzer is $6 and the formula is identical. I've talked about the E.L.F. bronzer on my channel a lot over the summer because it has been one of my favorites. It's just so smooth and blendable and easy to work with, and the formulas are so similar. The colors that I have are not identical dupes because the Urban Decay bronzers are a little bit too dark for me, and the E.L.F. bronzer does come in 3 shades. shades, so it might be worth checking out. But the e.l.f. bronzer is $6. The Urban Decay bronzer is $30. So the Urban Decay bronzer is 5 times the cost of the e.l.f. bronzer. And it's so crazy to me because the e.l.f. bronzer feels like a high-end bronzer. It feels identical. It's blendable and smooth, and I even like it a little bit better than the Urban Decay bronzer because I just find it to be slightly more blendable. I think because it is infused with that primer, it just goes on the skin really beautifully. So if there's a shade that will work for you in the e.l.f. bronzer range, I totally recommend picking that one up and saving yourself a little bit of money. So my favorite powder foundation for a long time was the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation. I usually wear the shade Light 45. It gives really good coverage and it's definitely a matte powder. So if you have oily skin, it's going to keep your skin looking matte all day long. Well, I've been looking for an alternative for a while because it is expensive and I know a lot of people do not purchase from Kat Von D these days. So if you're looking for an alternative, I definitely have a great drugstore option for you. And that is the MILANI Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof Powder. This one retails for $11, and I don't know if I mentioned, but the Kat Von D retails for $34. So this one is 3 times the cost of the MILANI powder. And again, I like the MILANI powder better. That has been kind of like the reoccurring theme with a lot of these affordable products. I actually prefer the affordable option. The MILANI powder also gives amazing coverage. It's blendable, it's matte, it's smooth. If you guys haven't tried a powder foundation, they give a lot more coverage than like a translucent powder because they are meant to be used as a foundation. So you can use them on their own or on top of liquid foundation if you want like a true full coverage look. But honestly, either one of these work well as a powder foundation on their own, but the MILANI powder is a lot more affordable. It's a great alternative. The Kat Von D powder does come in 14 shades, but the MILANI powder shade range isn't bad. It comes in 10 shades. Last thing, you do get more product in the MILANI powder foundation. You get 0.43 ounces versus 0.31 ounces in the Kat Von D powder. So another good thing to note. One more face product that I want to mention before I get into lip products. So I just recently tried out the Milk Makeup Cooling Water. They sent me a few products at the beginning of the summer and I've been slowly incorporating them into my skincare routine. I usually apply like a vitamin C serum and then I go in with a very light hydrating product. I don't always use like a full-on moisturizer before I apply makeup because it can just be a little bit too much for my oily skin. So this is a great option to use after you use vitamin C because it just kind of cools your skin. Sometimes vitamin C products can feel a little bit irritating or a little bit strong. So I love this product because it just makes my skin feel really good and it provides me with light hydration. Anyways, I do like this product. You get a good amount. You get 1.2 ounces and it retails for $24. I've been using the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm for a while and I didn't realize that they're pretty much the same product. This one retails for $8 and you do get less product. This one only comes with 0.51 ounces. So if you're breaking it down per ounce, this one's more like $16, $17 per ounce, whereas the Milk Makeup's like $24 per ounce. So it's not significantly cheaper when you break it down per ounce, but it takes me forever to use up one of these products. I don't know if I've ever even finished one up before I had to toss it before it expired. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. It's going to take a long time to go through it, even if you use it all the time. But honestly, they do the exact same thing. They just prep your skin for makeup application. And if you struggle with dryness or you just need a light dose of hydration, these products are really great because they're not overly heavy. They're not overly moisturizing. So the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm might be a good affordable alternative if you don't want to spend the money on the Milk Makeup Cooling Stick. So I do have some lip product dupes to share with you guys. I talked about the NARS Audacious lipstick in the shade Anna in my last dupes video because this is one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. I think it is the last non-cruelty-free product that I have in my collection because lipsticks take so long to use up. The lipstick itself is really good and I like the formula, but $34 is a lot of money. So when I talked about it in my last dupes video, I think I gave you guys a more affordable option, but it was still expensive. It was still a high-end lipstick. And a ton of you guys commented and said that the ColourPop Lippie Stick in the shade Lumiere is an identical dupe for the NARS Audacious lipstick in Anna, and you were completely right. So I had to share it with you guys in this video. If you're looking for an alternative to NARS Anna, the ColourPop Lippie Stick is $5.50. So it is a fraction of the cost. ColourPop is cruelty-free, NARS is not, so that is definitely something worth checking out. This color is really beautiful, but I'm so glad to know that I do have an affordable alternative in my collection that's cruelty-free. So I love the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks. They are one of my favorites, but I've realized that a lot of them have been duped with other products in my collection. So if you're looking at the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks, just kind of take a look at your collection or like Google the color, because there are so many affordable alternatives on the market. And again, the formula is really beautiful, but there are so many other options that I think are worth checking out because you can save a lot of money. The shade Disturbed is a comfort matte finish, which is really nice. It's very, very comfortable, very beautiful. But the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in the shade Hello Stranger is the exact same. The Luxe lipsticks retail for $7, so you're saving a lot of money if you opt for this one over the Urban Decay Vice lipstick. And the finish is exactly the same, the color is exactly the same, so that is definitely worth considering. I also love the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Stark Naked. This one is a comfort matte finish, but it's just a really beautiful, good go-to nude. I do love wearing this shade a lot, but I realized that the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in the shade What's Your Sign was an identical dupe. What's Your Sign is from the new Kathleen Lights collaboration that she did. It's like the Zodiac collection. So this one is limited edition, but if you were eyeing this lipstick and you already have the Urban Decay one in your collection, that's something to consider as well. Okay guys, let me finish up with two skincare dupes. I wanted to do an entire skincare dupes video, but it's hard to, I guess, compare products in your collection. You kind of have to just come across skincare dupes unless you really research it. So I just thought I would include them at the end of this video for those of you that were interested in hearing about them. So this is the Dr. Brandt Microdermabrasion Age Defying Exfoliator. This retails for $79. Which is crazy. I've gotten it twice in subscription boxes, which is amazing because it really is a good product. Dr. Brandt is not cruelty-free, so I've been looking for a dupe while using this very sparingly because I haven't really discovered any other exfoliator like this. It's just such a fine exfoliator and my skin looks beautiful after I use it, and I just really, really love the product. But even if it was cruelty-free, $79 is a ton of money to spend on an exfoliator. So I recently tried the VASANTI Brighten Up Enzymatic Face Rejuvenator, and I had tried this years ago, but I didn't realize that this product was a dupe until I just tried it again recently. The VASANTI product retails for $29, so you're saving $50 if you purchase VASANTI over Dr. Brandt, and you get the exact same amount of product, 2 ounces. You actually get a little bit more with the VASANTI product. So not only is the VASANTI product $50 less expensive than the Dr. Brandt product, it's also cruelty-free, which is amazing. And when I compared the ingredients online, they were very, very similar. There were only a few differences between the two. So you're not necessarily sacrificing quality by spending $50 less. It's identical, it feels the same, it looks the same. They both use like aluminum oxide crystals to exfoliate your skin. So they feel identical, they do the same thing. I'm telling you guys, definitely check this one out if you're looking for a more affordable, cruelty-free alternative. Okay, the last thing that I want to mention is actually a tool. I did recently just get this FOREO Luna FOFO, I think that's what it's called, it's such a weird name, in my FabFitFun box, which was amazing. I was really excited to actually get it in my FabFitFun box because I've been eyeing FOREO for a little while. This retails for $89, so it's definitely not affordable, but I do think it is a good skincare tool. I love these silicone cleansers because they're very gentle, but they are effective. You guys, the E.L.F. Massaging Facial Cleanser is $20 and it is the exact same thing. I promise you, it works exactly the same as the FOREO, at least the FOREO Luna FOFO. I know there are different variations, but that one is $20 and I actually lost mine. I'm so mad. I think I brought it with me on a trip and then I left it. So I don't have it to share with you guys in today's video. I will show you a picture. I was going to repurchase it just for the video, but I thought that might be a little bit wasteful because I do have this one. I actually like the E.L.F. one better because that one is shaped like a triangle and it's a little bit easier to hold. This one is round and it has like a weird sensor on the back or something because every time I put my finger in a specific area, it stops and then I have to like move my finger and it starts again. The E.L.F. one is just a little bit more user-friendly. It's a lot more affordable. They're both waterproof. They're great options. The whole selling point about this one is that it like measures the moisture in your skin and you can use it with an app. The app isn't in English, so I personally can't use it. So I wouldn't let that sway your decision making when it comes to this product if you're comparing it to either other models or other brands. I don't really think that this one is like the most comfortable to use and hold because it is so small. It's just a little bit awkward. I definitely prefer the E.L.F. cleanser to this one. And again, I don't want to just repurchase it just because this one does work well. But if I ever lose this one or it breaks, I will just spend my money on the E.L.F. cleanser because that one is $20 and it's identical. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. those are all of my dupes this time around. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will start working on my next dupes video, but if you have any recommendations for us, please let us know in the comments below so we can add them to our list as well. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Bye.